What is up, everybody? Ben from No Patience Projects here today. We are going to be putting a little bit of chrome polish on the Impala's bumpers today. Seems like a minor project, but they've looked really scruffy since I got the car back. And here in South Florida, it's getting hot. I can tell you it's closer to the 8th level of hell than winter today. It's about 90 with a very, very light breeze. I have, since November, been dealing with some medical issues, dealing with a hernia I have to have fixed, and tomorrow I'm having surgery to get that repaired. Because of that, the car projects are going to go to the wayside for a little bit because I'm not allowed to really do anything or lift anything for quite some time, probably 3 to 6 weeks after the operation. However, it'll be good to get it done. While that's going on, while I'm recovering, I'm going to do some videos going through the contents of the glove box, the history of the car and my family. I've got some slides I'm going to be scanning, so the content will keep coming. For the bumpers, we're going to be using Chemical Guys heavy metal polish. I like Chemical Guys products. They don't sponsor this channel. No one does. If you're interested, hit me up. But I like their products. When I was growing up, first dealing with cars and hot rods, you only had one choice for chrome polish. It was Turtle Wax or nothing. Now there's so many products on the market. Never Dull, Adams, Chemical Guys, Meguiar's. Just pick one that works for you. The purpose of this today is not to make this show quality. It's just to get it clean and get some protection on it for while it's sitting. We will see how this product does. All right, no inner cap. Normally you would use a little microfiber sponge applicator. We're going to use the trusty old crappy undershirt. That's going to be our polishing cloth for today. Well, I said there was no cap in it. There's something in it somewhere. Well, that was kind of a failure, but okay. There we go. Nope, sure not. All right, so there was a cap in it. No big deal, we got it out. Working in law enforcement, I go through about 3 packs of undershirts per year. So I keep all of the old ones for projects like this. There is no doubt in my mind that these bumpers are going to need to be re-chromed. I'm not operating under the illusion that that's not the case. But I do want to protect them and try to keep them as good as I can, because that's not going to be a priority project for this car. Just for those who are wondering, for right now, my big goals are going to be to get this car running. I'm waiting on a gas tank to get here, which didn't make it before I'm having my operation. However, I have a mechanic that's going to come put the gas tank in for me. The reason that I want to get that done and get the car running is because June will be here before we know it. Next week's going to be March, folks. And hurricane season starts in June here in the Keys. And I would like the car to be movable under its own power, so that if there is a storm coming and I need to move it, I can do so without having to get a flatbed and all that in the middle of hurricane evacuations and all that good stuff. So getting it running is going to be a priority while I'm healing from this operation, and while we are waiting for the other parts, I'm going to order all the parts that I can. If I can find a hood, I'm going to get a hood. If I can find a passenger fender, I'm going to buy one and start gathering the parts for the body restoration, but not tearing it down until after this hurricane season passes. I'm going to do some more videos cleaning up the interior and all that stuff, but for the most part, I would like to get it operational under its own power. You could also do this with a little buffer or some type of electric drill with a pad on it, but I just wanted to see how it looked, and this is also going to get a little bit of wax on the bumper so that it's not completely exposed sitting out here. That's a rust stain right there. This polish does seem to be doing an okay job. Alright, so we've got one side of the bumper hit with polish. Let's buff it off here. This front bumper is actually fairly good. The chrome is not the best, but it's not rusty. The back bumper has a lot more rust and damage on it. Missed a spot here, which is pretty normal for me, and freaking waxing and polishing is not my thing. I don't enjoy it. Parts for these four-door hardtops, because of Supernatural, have gotten astronomical, folks. These bumper guards, they need new rubber in them. But I just saw a set of these listed the other day in used condition, not restored, not re-chromed, just used. They were almost $800 for the front and rears. It's crazy what the parts have gone to. Nobody wanted a four-door before Supernatural, and now this is probably the most desired body style of the 67. This car restored will bring as much or more than any two-door or SS will, short of maybe a 427 car. These bottom pieces are going to need a little bit more love, but let's see how good this is done. Looks pretty good. Move on to the other side. Folks, I don't know what the weather is where you're watching this, but it is miserably hot here. We had a couple of cool days in the last week or two. I wasn't smart enough to come out here and do this then. The good news is that this temperature is really about as hot as it gets here. We don't get the 100+ degrees that the rest of the South does. Texas, Louisiana, all across the South. But it'll be 90 in the day here, 88 at night. It stays fairly consistent. Remember, I'm just doing this to get a little protection on the bumpers and get the crud off of them. If you really wanted to spend a couple hours out here with a polisher and really get in on these little spots, you could do a way better job than I'm doing. I just really want to protect everything, clean it up a little bit, and have it be okay while it's sitting here while I recuperate. The bottoms of these bumpers naturally are a little nastier than the top, but we're gonna get it done. This polish does seem to be doing a really good job of clearing the surface contaminants and stuff out of the chrome. Alright, buff this off. Watch tells me I've met my step goals for today, so that's good. Don't get too excited because I have it set really low so that I feel better about myself even when I'm lazy. So, pro-life tip. Set your step goal to about 2,500. You'll make it that many times going to the refrigerator. So. A little bit of tough stuff here on this bumper guard. I've already talked about how expensive these are, so we want to take good care of them. These aren't perfect, but they're certainly in usable condition, especially if I can get some more rubber for them. It's quite a lot better. I'm going to try it on the aluminum trim too. This hood piece wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, but the bumper looks really good compared to what it looked like before. I'm going to set everything up on the back and I'll be right back with you. Alright folks, like I said, the back bumper, not nearly as nice as the front bumper. Makes sense. Where the car was stored, it was under cover, but the back end was kind of stuck out toward the sun and the weather and things. It wasn't out in the weather, but it certainly wasn't inside a nice garage either. We have a lot more rust here, as you can see. Surface rust. The old timers, like my grandfather who bought this car, said you could take Coca-Cola and steel wool and get this surface rust off. We may try that trick in another video. We've got quite a lot of it here on this passenger side of the bumper. Without having a machine tool to work this. It's going to be hard to get much of the actual red rust off. But hey, it's going to look better than it did. And it's going to have a coat of wax on it so that it doesn't get worse in the meantime. When I had this car, last time I had this car was in 2001, the gas tank on it was junk then. It had crap in it. It would constantly clog the fuel filters. So when I got it back this time, the guy who had it claimed that he started it pretty regularly. You probably saw me talk about that a little bit in the walk around video if you watched it. If you did, thank you very much. But he claimed he started it every month. I don't think there's any way this car has been started in at least 5 years, maybe longer. So it is what it is, but I'm not messing with the gas tank that I know was bad. The straps have rusted off of it. Oh, that was fun. I guess I'm going to polish myself here. This is a kid-friendly channel. Don't go there. So, I'm just not messing with it. I went online to Hubbard's Impala parts, and I ordered essentially a new gas tank kit. It's the tank, the straps, the hardware, the fuel lines, everything all together, including a new sending unit. It will be here, I don't know when it'll be here. This new world we live in, I got the small parts. They told me the tank would be 1 to 4 weeks, which is a pretty broad window there. But I'm just going to put a new tank in it before I try to start it, because my buddy looked at it while it was still in Louisiana. He said the tank had water in it, and I'm just not going to entertain it when I knew it was bad 20-something years ago. So when that gets here, get my buddy Gil to come out, put the tank in. I'm going to go get a battery for this thing, and we're going to see if we can get it started. That won't be the very next video because I'll be out of commission for a little while. The next videos are going to be the history of the car, some pictures of it when it was, I think the oldest I found is 1968. So we're going to go back to old pictures, the receipts in the glove box. I think the factory window sticker is still in there somewhere. So we're going to go through all that stuff. Some content that I can do while I recuperate from this operation. Alright. We can see that this is already much, much better than it was. That's going to be it for today's video. Please remember, if you enjoy the content, like, share, subscribe, tell your friends. Have a good day.